of Eid and I'm in the heart of Istanbul in Eyüp Sultan. Let's see how my Eid went. Come with me, let's take a look. Thank you. Teşekkür ederim. Actually, grab
Taking photos.
We can, I think, find some mulberries. Yes. Would you like to? Perfect.
Oh my god, so good. Do you mind if I get your phone number because I don't
Yes.
know no one?
It was nice. She just here for 4 months in Turkey, so she didn't know anyone.
At my mom's breakfast table, along with the classic Turkish breakfast,
Hadi buyurun. Ya, evet.
we had simit, pide, sucuk with eggs, baklava that I brought, and a beautiful plate of fresh fruit. Later, we visited my mother-in-law and spent time with my husband's family, chatting for hours. I kept that part private, but it was a lovely gathering. In the afternoon, we went for a walk around the nearby neighborhood of Eyüp. Eyüp Sultan is just about 4-5 kilometers away, and you can take a bus and a beautiful tram ride to reach there.
Bunun yüzünden hep 9'dan falan iptal edildi. Bakın buraları hep gördüm buraya. Eyüp Seri.
Ama hayatım bir şey söyleyeceğim. Bu tarz şeyler alırsın. Bu tarz şeyleri böyle yapacağız.
We were greeted by ducks enjoying their time in the Golden Horn, and some friendly cats welcomed us too. My daughter and her cousin wanted to look for a bracelet to buy, so we strolled along the shops, enjoying the lively atmosphere.
Ne kadar bu bileklikler?
Kart üretimi.
İstediğin varsa alırım kızım.
Evet.
Then we reached the heart of Eyüp, the historical and important Eyüp Sultan Mosque area. It was much more lively and colorful. You could truly feel that it was Eid al-Adha, Kurban Bayramı. Children were playing with balloons, enjoying swirled fried potatoes on sticks, and the whole place had this joyful holiday spirit. It was one of those moments where you really feel part of a bigger celebration. On the second day, we visited the eldest member of our family. He has an Uzbek helper who is very talented. She was drying chamomile flowers that she picked up from the streets of Istanbul. Then I noticed on the wall my cross stitch I made as a child and gifted to my aunt. It brought back sweet memories.
Onu yapmıştım, biraz ince yaptım.
On the table, we had fried savory pastries, special Uzbek bread made with kidney fat, samsa börek,
İyi yaptınız. Öyle olmayacak.
and a traditional cheese dessert called peynir tatlısı. Everything looked and tasted amazing. We got back home really late, around 4 a.m. after staying with my mother-in-law due to some health issues. The next day we invited my mom over and wanted to surprise her with a beautiful picnic-style table, just like my daughter had been dreaming of, but we had no idea what was coming next. I needed something quick and easy, so I decided to make muffins in the air fryer. This recipe always turns out soft, tender and delicious. I used 60 ml vegetable oil, 75 grams of yogurt, 1 egg, 2 to 3 tablespoons of milk and sugar. Added 150 grams of flour. You can add a bit of cornstarch instead of flour if you like. Teaspoon of each baking powder, vanilla and quarter teaspoon of baking soda. Whisk everything, and I also added some frozen grapes from my mom's vineyard in Nevşehir, plus few berries and chopped walnuts. This amount makes 12 small muffins, and I bake them at 160 Celsius degree for about 15 to 17 minutes. I always love to sprinkle some sugar on top for extra crunchiness. They came out golden, fluffy and full of fruity bites, just the way we like them. Perfect addition to our picnic table. For the salad, I quickly cooked some pearl barley. Normally, you would soak it overnight, but using a pressure cooker gives great results in much less time. Then I added diced pickles, grilled red peppers and seasoned it with some salt, pul biber and dried mint. I mixed in a generous amount of yogurt. Make sure to use it natural, unsweetened, preferably full-fat yogurt. Later, I added some finely diced cucumbers for extra crunchiness and chopped dill. Mine were from the freezer, but of course, fresh is always best. I transferred the barley yogurt salad into a plastic container and finished it with a walnut, paprika and olive oil sauce on top. And finally, we were ready for our simple picnic. We went to the quietest corner of our garden, right under the blooming jasmine. I laid an old plastic cover first to keep my nice tablecloth clean, then we set the table with our plates and food. Well, it wasn't a fancy table, and yes, there was no sacrificial meat either. Even though it was Eid al-Adha, we've been donating our kurban to those in need for a while now. And honestly, what really stays with us isn't what we eat, but the time we share on the table. What do you think? Well, almost. Just after we had our first tea, the garden sprinkles turned on. The whole table, the food, even us, everything got wet. I barely managed to save my camera and phone. We were quite upset, especially my daughter, but in the end it became a memory we'll laugh about and tell for years to come. The next morning, my mom, my daughter, and I hopped on a bus and the metro to enjoy a quiet day in Istanbul. Since most people leave the city during the holiday, you can really feel how calm it gets, especially on the roads and in the metro. We first headed to Atatürk Kent Forest, a beautiful city park you can easily access right from the Hacı Osman metro station. It's a peaceful place with walking trails and green paths. We found a quiet bench surrounded by birdsong and sat down to enjoy a simple little picnic with the things we had brought along. It's the fourth day of Eid. And the last day of Eid, Kurban Bayramı. We are in Hacı Osman Kent Ormanı. Istanbul is really empty this time, my friends. We had beautiful time traveling without the traffic, without crowd. If I'm not mistaken, we traveled around 50 kilometers with public transportation. Took around 1 hour and 20 minutes to reach with 2 transportations. We took express bus and then metro. And the park is right near the Hacı Osman metro. We have ayran, iced tea. My daughter wanted to have. We have börek. Smells nice. This is with potato. We have one with cheese. We have some nuts. Snacks. And one more. The things from yesterday. As we sat there, my mom and I had one of our usual little chats.
Az yiyince şey yapıyor, insan acıkıyor. Az yiyeceğim, sık yiyeceğim.
Evet.
Az yiyeceğim, sık mı yiyeceğim?
Yani o da bir düşünce yapısı ama bazen de diyorlar ki iyice ye, sonra 4-5 saat hiç yeme. O inecek, o da var yani. İnecek, boşalacak.
Ama sık sık
mide boşalacak.
Mideyi doldurmayacaksın ki.
Ama işte sık sık
Aşağıya
yiyin.
giderecek kadar.
Sürekli açık kalıyor o zaman vücudun sistemi.
Bence o
Öğüteceğim
yanlış
diye
ya.
gönderiyorsun ya.
Çok çiğneyeceksin, yavaş yiyeceksin.
Az yediğin için senin o gidiyordur zaten.
Bir de yavaş yiyince doyduğunu anlıyorsun. Hızlı yiyince dolduruyor mideyi. Tamam.
Evet. After our little picnic talk, we walked a bit more through the park trying to guess what kind of trees we were seeing. My mom's knowledge helped here. Then, following my daughter's suggestion, we decided to explore a place in Istanbul we had never seen before. So we hopped on a bus heading to Rumeli Feneri. The ride takes about 40 to 50 minutes from just outside the park, and it takes you all the way to the northern edge of Istanbul, where the Bosphorus meets the Black Sea. Rumeli Feneri is a small fishing village known for its lighthouse, which has guided ships since the Ottoman era. Rumeli Feneri is near the north end of the Istanbul. It's nice, very small, beautiful view. It's peaceful with narrow streets, fishermen boats, and stunning sea views. Perfect little getaway without even leaving the city. If you are passing through here, you can come and visit. If you live here. The castle and the lighthouse were under renovation, so we couldn't go inside. The day was quite warm, and since we didn't have much time before the ferry, we just had some light snacks and caught the bus again, this time heading to Sarıyer. My mom really wanted to take a ferry ride. We made it to the ferry just in time, with only 5 minutes to spare. It was a breezy and beautiful ride along the Bosphorus, with peaceful views of the sea and the shoreline. But as soon as we reached Eminönü, we were met with the crowds. That's when we realized, yes, many people had left the city for Eid, but Istanbul still had plenty of life left to fill all the favorite spots. Eminönü Square was full of life, with all the classic street food options. Turkish ice cream, lokma fried dough bites, fish sandwiches, one of my favorites, pickle juice goes well with the sandwich, simit, roasted chestnuts, and corns. We were happy but definitely tired, so we ended the day with one of the easiest and most comforting dishes you can make. Ready-made mantı, topped with rich, creamy yogurt and a buttery sauce. Just what we needed. I recently shared my mantı recipe that you can make ahead, freeze, and whenever you want, just quickly cook. I'm gonna add the links for you if you are interested in the recipe as well. From quiet prayers to ferry rides, from family tables to Istanbul's lively streets, this was our Eid. Simple, meaningful, and full of little moments we'll remember. Thank you for being part of it with us. To make the coconut cookies, first I mixed 150 grams of butter at room temperature with 1 cup of powdered sugar, added 1/3 of a cup vegetable oil, 1 egg. Then I added 3 heaped tablespoons coconut flakes. These are unsweetened. And for extra melt in the mouth texture, I added 3 heaped tablespoons cornstarch. It is optional, you can add only flour if you don't have or don't want to use. Add 2 teaspoons each baking powder and vanilla, and about 2 cups of flour first, and add more flour if needed until it becomes a pliable, smooth, soft dough. Then I shape them into small balls, and here how you can make it 2 at once. Just get roughly the same amount and then roll them together with the help of your palm. Then dip it first into lightly whisked egg white and then coconut flakes again. You can also make the cookies larger, but I love making them small, so you can alternately serve them with other sweets on the plates and enjoy them without having too much. Then I baked the cookies in 165 Celsius degree preheated oven for about 15-20 minutes. Meanwhile, I also popped baklava that I made earlier and waiting in the freezer for this kind of days when I don't have any time. It is ready to bake and pour the syrup. First the cookies come out, cracked beautifully and smells absolutely intense flavored coconut flakes. I poured the hot syrup on top right away and it was perfect and crispy for even after 5 days. I brought these baklava and cookies to my mom and mother-in-law so they could serve them to their guests and of course to us too. I have many baklava recipes you can try here on my channel and I'll add some of the links in the description below. But I would also highly recommend trying the coconut cookie